I don't wanna wait for my life to be over, so I do it now.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Transphemerate MTG here. Just played a nice little fun quick draft. Got up to 5 wins, a few more diamonds or gems, so I decided I would run it back and have one on recording for you here. So pick one. Oh, Shana's Tidebind is nice. I mean, flashes, can activate triggered abilities, blank something. Grasping Shadow is quite nice, give Death Touch and Lifelink. I mean, this is quite a nice fight card, and this isn't too shabby either for a blocker and something to use crafting on. But I'm going to take the Shadow's Tidebinder. I think it's quite a handy card. See what else we can get going on here. So, in blue can sort of go into a couple of different identities here. Waterlogged Hulk. Send 8 or more permanents in my graveyard, 4/4 Vigilance with Crew 1, that's pretty solid. Crafts with an island. I can always do the 2/2 flyer that enters to create a map token. I actually think that's going to be my pick here. I mean, flying's always nice, the map token's good, and the Waterlogged Hulk, if it comes back, is something that I could absolutely want to have. But I think I'm sort of going to go towards potentially a little bit of an exploring kind of vibe here. Whenever creature you control explores, gets unblockable, that's always good. Here I've got some more descending cards. Neither of these are pirates, they're all merfolk instead of pirates. So I'm not really going to be looking at taking the pirate hat, although the looting is very handy. See if there is anything here that really does synergize with what I've got so far. I mean, not really. If descended, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, sacrifice to make... I mean, this isn't too bad, but it's not really the colours I'm wanting to go into. Could take the Canalized Blood, but I also like the Tithing Blade as reasonable sort of removal. We also have the Whiteley's First Strike. I might take the Canalized Blood. Sort of wanting to be in green rather than black, though. We've got sacrificing artifacts and milling, but here I think it's going to be another explore creature, so we can go really heavy into Simic Merfolk. Song of Stupefaction here. We've got a Scampering Surveyor, which isn't too shabby either. For a little bit of ramp, got Abyssal Gorestalk is really nice. Enters and each player sacrifices 2 creatures. But might take the River Herald Guide as well. I think trying to get as much exploration going as humanly possible at this point is a good way to start. Here I'll take the Jade Seed Stones, just because it's the only card that was really in my colour. We've got dinosaurs, we've got some descendings, we've got some artifacts or creatures become 4/3s. I'll take the Relics Raw just to have something a little bit earlier on. Here we've got the Capybara, which could end up being a 2-mana 3/3, or the Song of Stupefaction, which is a nice, you can mill and then essentially just blank one of their creatures. I'm going to take the pseudo removal here instead of anything else. Here I think I'm going to be going over the edge. I think the Explore, or Destroy an Artifact or Enchantment, especially in this meta, is pretty handy. Take the Capybaras here. Don't think we will be looking at going into black at this stage. Just with the one Canonizing Blood, but we'll take the Spike Tail just in case we do get some real bombs. Shipwreck Sentry, not really what I'm looking for. Another Song of Stupefaction, and Volatile Folk can be alright. Oh, here we go. Switch over for a cave, put 3 +1/+1 counters on a cave, and destroy target enchantment. I think that's quite nice here. What else would I be wanting to pick in this pack? It would be the Pathfinding Axejaw, the Poison Dart Frog, potentially the Inverted Iceberg, just because it's pretty nice to, I mean, mill a card, draw a card, crafts into a 6/6. But I think the Cosmium Confluence here is going to be the go. Here we've got sort of Cavern Stomper, Walk with the Ancestors. The Staunch Crewmate's nice, but I don't have any real artifacts or pirates, so I don't think that's going to be worth running. There's some really nice uncommons in this pack. The Akawali is really nice in Descend. The Visitor Dread's actually quite nice. Got the Ruin Lurker Bat is pretty handy too. Here I might just take the Walk with the Ancestors maybe to get something back, but I imagine that might end up being cut. Staggering Size, Clockwork Wrestler. I think a 1-mana 1/2 flasher isn't like a bad idea. We've got Unlucky Drop. That's kind of nice in terms of removal. Got 2-mana removal here as well. If it was tapped, I can create a map token. Is it going to be better to return things to hand or to return things to the top or bottom of the library? I think at this point I could also go with either the Bristleback or the Stone Tree. Or even the Frilled Caveworm as a potential 4-mana 4/5. But I'm going to take the Brackish Blunder here. I think the upside of creating a map token is going to be really handy. I think here I could take the Malamet Veteran, which is quite nice, but I'm going to take the Merfolk Cave Diver again, just because if I can get some explores over and I've got multiple of them that can't be blocked, that's pretty handy. River Herald Guide and a Glimpse the Core. I think I'm going to take the Glimpse the Core just to search for a basic forest if I need to. I don't have any caves, but a little bit of early ramp can help get out some of these slightly bigger creatures. I think in this spot I'm going to take the Unlucky Drop, just as another bit of pretty decent removal. Here I can take either the Puzzle Door, the Cavern Stomper, or the Nursery. I think because I've got the Glimpse the Core, if I've got the Hidden Nursery I can discover into something and potentially bring it back if I need to. Here I've got the Shipwreck Sentry, which I'm probably not going to end up playing just because I don't really have many artifacts. I do explore, but they don't really create as many map tokens. So I'm going to take the Swashbuckler's Whip, probably pop it on the side for now. Here, drawing a card and can potentially have flying, but I think I'm just going to go for a slightly bigger body, slightly bigger payoff here. I'll take the Staggering Size, but I'm not sure I'm going to take it. Alright, so here's a pretty reasonable, I could pick any 4 of these cards. I think the Death Touch during my turn and Reach on theirs isn't too bad, but I think the Caslim Stone Tree, Craft with a Cave, it's 3 mana to put a land onto the battlefield tapped from the top 6. Could take the Frilled Caveworm. What have I got at 4? Unlucky Drop and Jade Seedstones. I think a creature at 4 with a little bit of ability to block is not a bad idea. Take the blue card, take the Atali's Favor, and a forest. Last pack here. I've got an Unstable Glyph Bridge as the rare. I don't think that's going to be what we end up taking, which is a little bit of a shame because it's not too bad a Wrath, especially in this sort of format. Then you can craft with an artifact and get a nice sort of body. But the Colossodactyl we could take. Out of Air, 2 mana counterspell, but I'm going to take the Seeker of Sunlight here. 1 drop that can constantly explore, and here a Cenote Scout. I think that's a couple of really, really nice 1 drops to round out things, is exactly what we're looking for. Here I'll probably take the Cavern Stomper, just because the Oaken Siren doesn't really do much for me. I'm not going to be able to use the mana very much, and I don't think having a 1/2 flyer is going to be as big. Oh, here Twists and Turns is going to be excellent. Explore, instead scry 1 and Explore. Again, getting some nice payoffs. Here we've got a Lodestone Needle into Guidestone Compass, which I think is going to be the go. We do have Spelunking as well, although I'm not really looking quite as hard at lands, but the Lodestone Needle, to be able to craft it with an artifact which got a Volatile Folk makes, I do have a few ways of making a little bit, but even still, tapping 1 artifact or creature and putting stun counters on it at flash, that's pretty solid. So here, I've got a Buried Treasure, Sage of Days, Stone Tree and Malamet Scythe. I think here we're going to go for the Stone Tree, purely because now we've got something that does want an artifact, that I want to have maybe a couple more just in the library. Here we could do another Jade Seedstones, but I think that just the 1 of them is going to be enough. Yeah, I mean a 4 drop, I've got the Caveworm, I've got an Unlucky Drop, but I've got some at 5. That's maybe not exactly what I'm wanting. Might go with a Poison Dart Frog just to see if we can get a little bit more acceleration going. Oh, another Seeker of Sunlight is the last pick. That's looking pretty good. Looking like we may well be able to be curving out reasonably well. Here's a little bit of a question. I've got a lot of 2 drops, so I don't think I'm going to be taking the Malamet Brawler. I'm going to take the Out of Air. We'll see if we end up playing it. I'm not going to be prioritising it. Here I might take the Hunter's Blowgun, get rid of potentially the Relic's Roar, but also not really. I mean, we've got Clockwork Wrestler as an artifact as well, which is quite nice. We'll take the Hidden Cataract just as another explore source. Mineshaft Spider could end up playing that just because of the reach potential. I don't really have anything at the moment that deals with flyers awfully well, other than the Hunter's Blowgun. But again, I'm not sure if the milling 2 cards or 3 cards, however many it was on entrance, is going to be exactly what I'm after either. So here we'll take out the Relics Roar. Do we want the 2 songs of Stupefaction? I think potentially just one of them would do. A Glimpse the Core we'll keep. I think we'll get rid of the Capybara as well. We'll keep the River Herald guys. Definitely the Senate Scout, Seeker of Sunlight is going to be nice. Cave Diver definitely. Tidebinder definitely. Scout definitely. Stone Tree I think we're going to keep. Here, could even get rid of the Frilled Cave Worm as well, and potentially even the Walk with the Ancestors. Might even get rid of the Cavern Stomper. I mean, it's nice enough to have something that finishes off with a really nice big body. So what are we going to do in terms of removing some cards? I don't think any of these are really going to be the sorts of things that I'm after. Mineshaft Spider at 4 as opposed to the Frilled Cave Worm. That could be an okay option. I could also have Swashbuckler's Whip. I think we're going to get rid of the Hunter's Blowgun because here we've got 4 artifacts. So we've got the Stone Tree, the Lodestone Needle, the Coldwork Wrestler, and the Jade Seed Stones. And I'm not really... as long as I get one of them, and the chances of me having one of them along with the Lodestone Needle, if I ever get it out, would be it would be reasonable. So it'd be a 3 in 40, which is sort of a 1 in 15. I think with enough explores here, I've got enough digging to be able to get the Lodestone Needle. Potentially could cut a River Herald Guide or another 3-drop, but I think all the other 3-drops are very handy. Got 13 creatures, some instants and sorceries. Do I need the 17 lands? I've got a 2 hidden nurseries, a stone tree, and a glimpse the core, plus a whole bunch for exploration. I might actually cut an island. Let's go down to 16 lands. I think we'll be perfectly fine. And then it's just a matter of whether or not we do want to potentially cut a card to oh, I've got the Poison Dart Frog as well. Don't really want to go down to 15. If I went down to 15, I would probably look at cutting the Cavern Stomper, but I think here with the Cosmium Confluence, everything, I think it's a reasonable enough sort of curve. Maybe a few too many at 3, but all the exploration is definitely what I want to be synergizing with. So we'll have a bit of a go. The Cave Worms will be fine enough to have. I mean a 3-4 versus a potential 4-5. I will get rid of the Cave Worm and we will put in the Mineshaft Spider. Don't think there's anything in the blue slots that I would want. Not really keen on a slightly worse counterspell. It's not really what I'm doing. Going to be a little bit more aggressive than I am controlling. And we'll jump into things and see how it both feels and looks. Game 1 against the Sea Monster. That nice little cosplaying a sea monster pretty nicely. Unfortunately, we don't have a creature for the twists and turns. Don't have any creatures at all, but I think we can keep this in the hope that we do draw into something reasonable. We can flash in the Lodestone Needle if they are getting a little bit aggressive with something early on, but I'd love sort of a 1 or 2 drop creature to be able to go into, get the twists and turns online, and then be able to start ramping. Have the Jade Seed Stones that I can always sacrifice to the Lodestone Needle if I like. But I want to actually wait for the twists and turns, wait to play it until I do actually have a creature on board. Let's go passing the turn. Could flash in the Lodestone Needle here, but I don't think it's going to be worth it on this Volatile Wanderglyph. See what they discard, if they discard at all. Okay, so looking like sort of red, white, potentially descending. White mana there, and Tinker's Tote. Yeah, looks like they may well be, which is nice enough. And on my turn, I will play a Forest and this Merfolk Cave Diver. Really nice blocker. And then next turn I can probably even just play out the Hidden Cataract potentially, and then twist and turns, get it to explore, have mana up for a Lodestone Needle. What's going on here? I feel like there's going to be something going on, which means I'm not going to declare any blocks. I'd much rather have this as an attacker that can't be blocked. And see if they run something out from their hands, as opposed to throwing the body in front of it and dying to some sort of removal. Iron Paw Aspirant, +1/+1 counter on a token? Okay. It will be the Wonder Glyph. I think that's a slightly better idea. Either that or the Aspirant itself. Okay. And a Buried Treasure. Alrighty, so they've still got access to 1 mana. They can sacrifice the Tinker's Tote if they want, but I don't think that's going to be a very sensible play. So here, because I drew the Seeker of Sunlight, I'm actually going to play the Seeker of Sunlight first. Seeker of Sunlight with the untapped land instead of the Cataract. So I can both twists and turns my Merfolk Cave Diver, as well as Lodestone Needle on their turn to tap down one of their Explore. And it's going to get +1/+0. And I'm going to attack in for 4, even up the life totals a little bit. And then on their turn, I think I'll end up tapping down and putting a stun counter on... likely going to be the Volatile Wonder Glyph, just so it can give me 1 less turn of them... oh, 2 less turns even of them having the card selection. Oh yeah, see, Cosmium Blast, they did have one. I'm going to take all of that damage. I don't think it's worth it for me to do anything there. Another Tinker's Tote. What I'm going to do is hopefully I will be able to get this Jade Seed Stones in play. I think that's going to be a better plan. Just to maybe 2 +1/+1 counters on the Seeker of Sunlight. We'll go 2 on the Seeker and 1 on the Cave Diver. And here I might actually just hold everything back. They do have a pretty wide board, so I want to keep enough back to be able to prevent as much of the attack as possible. And then next turn, when I have another 2/4 down, I will be able to have a bit more of a better time attacking into things. Could potentially even make the Merfolk Cave Diver unblockable as an alternative. Mineshaft Spider. Because here I could always craft with an artifact and then explore. I think that's going to be the way that it goes, because I'm not going to be transforming the Jade Seed Stones anytime soon. So I'll exile the Jade Seed Stones. And I'll get an Explorer off on the Seeker of Sunlight, because this is going to become unblockable regardless, and the potential to be able to fuck this up a little bit more is going to be quite handy. So we'll go Seeker of Sunlight gets to explore. We get to scry one first, or we'll keep the Cosmium Confluence on top, and then we'll explore. And I'll swing in for 5 unblockable damage. Have a 4/4 up to block, maybe the Iron Paw Aspirant, but they are looking a little bit scary, because that's going to be 4 damage on the Brazen Blade Master. Could just trade the Seeker of Sunlight with the Brazen Blade Master, which could be an okay idea, just to get rid of a slightly bigger threat. Let's see what their plan is. I am a little bit concerned that they might have some sort of combat trick, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice to preserve a little bit more life, because I'm taking 6 at this stage. It's 2/0 and first strike. Yep. That is very much the sort of thing I was concerned about. Here, I don't really have any enchantments to destroy. It's not worth playing the Cosmium Confluence. We're Merfolk Cave Diver. And I think I'm just going to have to glimpse the core. I'll be taking 6 damage next turn anyway, so I'm actually dead, because I'll be able to block these 2, but the 4, 5, 6, and that's a scoop. That is a scoop. Didn't get enough creatures on the board quickly enough, so I can maybe even take a look at just how to combat that in the next game. Have a little bit of a tinker. Did keep a reasonably slow hand and didn't have any removal there either. So it's going to be a... what do we got? Shipwreck Sentry, over to Relics Raw Song, Capybara. You know, I don't have an awful lot because I've still got a reasonable 13 creatures is fine. I would believe that 13 creatures is okay, especially when we've got a little bit of removal, a little bit of protection. Yeah, I think it's actually fine. I think it was just a unfortunate that they managed to go as wide as they did. Probably could have held back on some of the attacks just to preserve some of the health. But I think a lot of their tricks would have made even blocking reasonably difficult. But off to an okay start. I think the deck is reasonable enough. Again, sort of Simic Explore, Simic Merfolk is a pretty standard. Ooh, if I draw a land, the River Herald Guide is going to be fine. And the Mineshaft Spider on 4s, not too bad. So yeah. That was the reason for keep. A couple of reasonable creatures, vigilant creatures as well. And that's actually kind of nice because I can return the Bartolome to its owner's hand at some point, especially if it gets really, really nice and big. And that's a pretty good way of getting rid of it because they sink a lot of mana and sacrifice into it. And to then be at a point where they don't have much they can do. Here, I'm almost expecting these cave divers, just because of their reaction, to be killed almost immediately. But we'll see. I might next turn actually explore this twice, just so it doesn't die to any of the 4 damage. Yeah, we'll declare no blocks. See, because they're holding priority, they do have some sort of instant speed removal. Got a Brood Rage Mycoid here. So what I'm going to do is play out this Hidden Cataract, and I am going to play the creature as opposed to, because they don't have any mana up to deal with the Cave Diver. And here I can block either of the creatures. Because this is unblockable, unblockable damage is pretty... I mean, it's impossible to deal with because it can't be blocked. Here, I think I'm just going to block the Brood Rage Mycoid if they do attack. And then I'm happy to sacrifice the River Guide Herald to some sort of removal spell, which I dare say, yep, Cosmian Blast. And I'll take 2 damage. And they won't get the any of their triggers. Next turn here, I might be able to flash in the Lodestone Needle. So what I'm going to do is... here's a little bit of a difficult one. I'm going to cast the Mineshaft Spider. I don't think I am going to mill the 2 cards. I'm going to decline the mill, and I'm going to keep all of my blockers up. I'm going to put the Blood Rage Mycoid to trade with the Mineshaft Spider here. I'll take the 2 damage from the Skull Taker, and I'll see if they do want to sacrifice everything into the Bartolome. Unless... oh, we've got another removal spell. That's something quite ferocious. And I will look at just taking all of that damage, unfortunately. Don't want to give them any descend triggers, not that they'd be getting them, but having all of that removal very early on for my creatures is pretty solid. We sack the Revice the Bartolome. That's a more interesting decision. Here, actually this is quite nice because I can go twists and turns, and I'll explore on the Merfolk Cave Diver. I'm going to put that on the bottom to hope I can get a counter. I cannot get a counter. Play this Forest, and then I can play... I've got the Lodestone Needle and the Brackish Blunder, so I'm going to do both on their creatures next turn, which means I think I do actually get a free attack here. I'm going to entice them into blocking as much as they possibly can. Return that creature to its owner's hand. I'll actually do that now on the Brood Rage Mycoid. And I'll end the turn. And before they go to attacks, I'm going to tap down the Goblin Skull Taker. Next turn I could River Herald Guide and have a map, or River Herald Guide and then over the edge. Let's go Lodestone Needle, tap down the Deep Goblin Skull Taker for a couple of turns. And now, unless they have another land drop, they play 1,000 Moons Infantry instead. This is okay, we'll play the River Herald Guide. It explores, well I get to scry 1 first, and then I will explore, keep the Cosmium Confluence on top. And we will actually explore again, just to make it so the River Herald Guide is able to block the 1,000 Moons Infantry. And end the turn. And next turn, whatever they attack with, I've also got the Cogwork Wrestler to be able to deal with some of the disruption that they may be causing. Faster blockers, go River Herald Guide, and we're just going to trade. The Deep Goblin Skull Taker is going to be a little bit bigger, and they're going to get another 1/1 token, but that's not the end of the world. Yep. Wonderful. Oh, they're exploring to a land, that's quite helpful as well. We're going to flash in this Cogwork Wrestler, actually sacrifice it to the Lodestone Needle. Don't have any artifacts in the bin. Unfortunately, the Cosmium Confluence isn't going to be doing an awful lot, even... no... well, what am I going to do? Here I'm going to go Jade Seed Stones, and I'm going to go counters... 2 counters and 1 counter, I think. Go Submit. And I can attack with the 7/5 with Vigilance, because if they want to block, they'll have to block with the Mycoid. And the next turn, I've got a reasonable block for the Brood Rage Mycoid, and I can block one of the others with the Cogwork Wrestler. I'm happy to sacrifice that if I need to. 1,000 Moons Infantry, are they going to attack in with anything? Be surprised if they do. We've got 1,000 Moons Crackshot as well. Yeah, so they don't attack here. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go circle over a cave, and then 2 find this hidden nursery, and then I'm going to put 3+1 counters twice on this cave. I've got the Mycoid Maze up as well, so I'll go to combat and can actually attack with this River Herald Guide for 5. They would have to triple block to kill it. Well, they could just double block, but the 1,000 Moons Crackshot is going to be tapping it down anyway, so I'd rather actually get a couple of their bodies out of the way, just because it is a little bit of a risky maneuver here. And I do kill both of their creatures. I think that that's a trade that I'm happy enough with, because, oh, they're going to hit me for a fair bit of damage, because the Hidden Cataract is going to become tapped. They'll be hitting me for 6 next turn, because they'll pay the mana. Yep. So I'll be taking 6. I'll block the 1,000 Moons Crackshot. And hope they don't have a way to deal me 1 damage, because that would be very unfortunate. Oh, they've got another Brood Rage Mycoid. That is a little bit of a problem. What can we do here? We've got the Lodestone Needle, we've got the Jade Seed Stones. If I exile a creature, what's the highest mana cost creature I've got? Gain 4 life, which would actually save me. I'm going to go cast a creature, and I'm going to sacrifice the Mineshaft Spider, take me up to 5, which may well be enough to save my life here. So I can block into the Deep Goblin Skull Taker with a couple of things, and maybe the Cogwork Wrestler dies. I'll get the Blood Rage Mycoid for the sacrificing to draw 2 cards, pay the map. Let's maybe explore on either the Skull Taker or the Mycoid. I feel like that's fine. What can I do next turn? I've got 7 mana, so I could... I don't have any 2 mana creatures, but if the Cogwork Wrestler does die, then that could be alright to walk with the Ancestors and then replay it. Let's see if they attack. They do not attack. Okay, so I've got 8 mana here, which is even better at this stage. And I get to discover, so I'm going to go return it to one target permanent from my graveyard to my hand. I'm going to take the Merfolk Cave Diver. Oh, why did it tap my only blue mana for that? Oh, is it because I got the bloody Hidden Cataracts? Is that it? Merfolk Cave Diver. Actually, that's just absolutely insane that that's what it did. Because here to play the other Cave Dive, I need to tap the Hidden Cataract, where I really just could have tapped the Nursery for something last turn. Would have been a little bit more helpful. This, again, that auto tap was not exactly what I was wanting to hit there. None of these are... Yeah, I think I might just have to go a double explore onto maybe the Merfolk Cave Diver. Give it a little bit more stopping power. I'll keep that on top. Becomes a 4/6. Becomes unblockable, but that's fine. And I'm going to hope that I do not get killed somehow, because I've got enough blockers to only take the 2 damage from the fungus. They can... Cool, that's fine. They can make the Vanguard of the Rose indestructible. I've certainly got enough in the back here that it's not really too threatening to me. Got the unlucky drop. I've also got the ability to Mycoi's Maze if I really want to, but I think I've got any artifacts in the bin yet? I do not. Oh, okay. So they just scooped. Again, would have been a little bit easier if I was able to run out the double Merfolk last turn, if I had manually tapped all the lands or kept an eye on things, because then I would have had been able to, you know, sort of sack the Lodestone to make something attack and then get in for certainly enough unblockable damage to make the difference. But that was a really nice comeback from being on 1. Definitely helped having enough mana to pop the 4 life gain and get a lot more creatures on board. But that was a really nice outcome, especially with how it started. Was on the back foot pretty nicely for a little bit there. Yeah, I think this is a great hand. I can Secret Sunlight turn 1, Lodestone Needle on turn 2, and keep up Tish's Tidebinder for anything that might be a bit problematic. Ooh, I can even go Twists and Turns on 2 just to get this nice explore on the Seeker of Sunlight. Got here, well, or not. Got the Sacrificial Lamb being my Seeker of Sunlight. So here I'll just pass the turn, can potentially flash in a Lodestone Needle end of their turn. I actually think that's totally fine, because it means they're not going to be able to use the mana from the Dart Frog. Which hopefully will mean that they don't have much to do. And I've got the Tidebinders here, especially if something enters. That is... Do we have an artifact? I'm going to counter that triggered ability just so they don't get ahead. Again, stopping them from accelerating as much as I possibly can. We will start with a Twists and Turns, exploring onto the Tidebinder. Oh, Secret Sunlight's nice. I will absolutely keep that. And then I'm not going to play the Stone Tree because I would really like the Secret Sunlight next turn. And I can flash in the Cogwork Wrestler at the end of turn or during their turn as well. Ooh. Very nice. This is exactly what I'm after. Because then now I can just sacrifice the Cogwork Wrestler, which is a little bit more of a nothing creature to me, and hope that this means that I can get a really nice Secret Sunlight. Got the Castle Stone Tree. Hopefully I can hit another blue source just to, yeah, hit this island. We'll attack end with the Tishana's Tidebinder. Doing a reasonably good job controlling things here. Can craft the Lodestone Needle onto the Stone Tree next turn if we're wanting to. Or I can always just play the Mineshaft Spider. I don't really want to be attacking with the Poison Dart Frog. No, I'm happy to take the 2 damage from the Melamet Brawler here. Blocking doesn't achieve anything for me. Can always Mineshaft Spider if I do want to mill. I've got that as an option as well. but I don't think I do want to mill. We'll go, yeah, we'll cast the Mineshaft Spider just because it's a decent blocker here. Mill 2 cards, I don't think I want to. And here I'm actually just going to attack with the Seeker of Sunlight. I don't want to attack with the Tishana because the Poison Dart Frog can get Death Touch. Rather have it back as a blocker for the Malamet Brawler in case of emergency. See what they do at the end of my turn. Fanatic Offering, sacrifice a Tithing Blade, that's pretty nice. So here they can actually potentially map up the Brawler, which means I wouldn't be able to block with the Tidebinder, could only block with the Spider. Ooh, and if we're looking at descending, then that's going to become a little bit of a problem. He's sizable enough to provide some sort of... Oof, that's alright, it's a swamp. Another Malamet Brawler. Alright, an island here. What we're going to do is... Could actually, yeah, craft the Volatile Fold, make a 5/5. I actually think it's going to be a pretty solid idea because I don't have any non-basic lands. Volatile Fold's not doing me any good at the moment, and having a 5/5 there available is pretty solid. Might actually attack with a Tidebinder just because they will have to double block to be able to kill it, and I'm more than happy to take that trade of 2 of their creatures for 1 of mine. Take the 4 damage, and I'm looking in a pretty decent spot. I will be blocking the Skull Taker if they attack with the Skull Taker. The threat of it constantly growing if they descend is pretty scary. I'm going to hold the over the edge potentially for the Tithing Blade if they do swap it instead of double exploring something. Tithing Blade here, I will just sacrifice the Seeker of Sunlight. 1/1, I'm much happier to get rid of than either of my bigger creatures. Oh, here, this is quite nice. What can I do? What I'll do is we'll go... I might honestly just craft this with an artifact. Excellent artifact, see what they end up wanting to do. And passing the turn. Because if I can get a little bit of tempo at the end of their turn by creating a map token and returning something to hand, it's certainly going to be a pretty solid way of going. The Tithing Blade, they might sacrifice one of their creatures just to get the descend trigger on the Skull Taker, then being able to actually drain for 1. Oh, Galta! Interesting. That makes things a little bit different. Can't really attack much into that, can I? Jade Seed Stones. What do we do about the Galta? I need to wait for the Galta to attack to bounce it. Which means I can't play the Seed Stones. I am going to... Let's go... Make the Castlem Spider. I don't want the land. Don't really want the Cavern Stomper either. I can actually bin that. Over the edge, what do I want to do? I could explore and explore something. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to destroy one of the Tithing Blades. That could end up being reasonably scary. And hold up the Brackish Blunder for after their attacks next turn to bounce the Galta. Canonized in Bloods. That's actually kind of nice. See what they attack in with, if they're going to go full ham, or if they are actually going to be a bit more reasonable and keep some of their creatures up. They might want to use the Tithing Blade just to actually have a trigger for the Skull Taker. Let that resolve. And it's upkeep. Pass to attackers. What are they going to attack with? Nothing. Okay, they're being very, very cautious here. Here I can hit the Jade Seed Stones. We'll go... I might just go 1, 2, 3. 1 on each of them. And no attacks. I'm going to wait for them to do something. Because I don't really... I mean, yeah, if they don't play anything with the Galta, I could sacrifice that, make a demon. always block it with the spider. The Galta is a little bit of a problem. I'm hoping that sort of the Brackish Blunder does do some kind of work. Ooh, tendrils instead, and they don't have enough mana to do anything about that. Are they going to be attacking with the Galta? They are not attacking with the Galta. That's very interesting. I think we're just going to keep making Chasm Strider this a little bit bigger. Oh, Merfolk Cave Diver is absolutely what I want here. Play this forest. Transform the twists and turns. And it's 4 and tap, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be leaving enough mana open to still cast a Brackish Blunder. Put the Cave Diver in my hand, get rid of some of the other junk that's around. And I think here I'm going to be pushing, attacking with the Tidebinder just to get the Poison Dart Frog block out of the way. Or whatever they want to chump with. Yeah, what are they doing here? They're blocking with 2? Well, they're just going to block just with the Dart Frog and give it Death Touch. Okay. But the tendrils they can do an awful lot with. Yeah, we'll just we'll kill both of them. I want to try and force the issue to try and get some of their, especially their Galta to attack, so I can bounce it and get the map token. Although I do, nice. They do attack with the Galta here. I can double block and keep one of my creatures. Is maybe what they're thinking. Pass to attacks. Nice. And they can't replay it this turn, which is the important thing. And I make a map. And I'm going to hold that map for this Merfolk Cave Diver. And what I can do here is I can almost... Actually, because I can't really do anything, so I'm going to walk with the Ancestors. I'm going to get this Tishana's Tidebinder back. Just because it can counter something potentially if things begin to go wrong, but I think, regardless of what they do on this next turn, I've got the 2 Merfolk Cavern Divers. I can explore twice, which gives me quite a lot of damage, and that might just be enough for a GG, especially if I do get a decent explore onto them. Galta's not going to do anything. They can't attack into me with anything. Oh, Song Stupefaction's quite nice. So, let's begin with an explore onto the Cave Divers. It's a land. That is not really what we're wanting to see. We're going to go Hidden Cataract, and we're going to go another explore onto the Cave Divers. We're going to keep that there, because that's only 9 damage. Which is quite unfortunate, because leave them on 1, and I'll be, still have to attack with both of them. If I had hit 2 non-creatures, that would have been absolute perfection, because I want to keep both the Song of Stupefaction and the Tidebinder up for next turn. Let's see what they do here. They go Tendrils of the Micro Tyrant. Let's go counter that ability. Spend a lot of their mana. The Micro Tyrant becomes nothing. They wasted a bunch of mana, and here I can Song of Stupefaction to protect me from some damage, and they call that GG. Very nice. I think that was a well-controlled game while I got up to finding a spot where I can work through the Galta, holding back the removal, just sort of passing the turn, because I knew what my win condition was in that moment, which is quite handy, knowing that, awesome, what needs to happen is I need to play around the Galta, get it back to hand on a turn where they can't just replay it. Alright, into this next game. got a tapped land into a poison dart frog, into a water wind scout with some nice high mana backups. I think that's going to be a reasonable start. Land into poison dart frog. Yeah, I mean, having those two unblockable creatures really did pay dividends that last game. It'd be really nice if I could have ended up killing them with the damage as opposed to having to rely on, you know, on not killing them with the damage. And here we'll go the Water Wind Scout, and we'll just leave everything open. Having a flyer to fly over the Deathcat Marionette's pretty nice here as well. Deep Goblin Skull Taker. Don't think I will block with Poison Dart Frog if they offer. Nope. Don't want to have the Skull Taker. Oh, I will this next turn though if they want to trade on in. Because if it's an artifact, creature, or planeswalker, it loses all abilities, and being able to have the Skull Taker much less threatening is going to be a nice hit on the Tishana. So they'll attack. I'll past blockers, choose blockers. I may as well add 1 mana of, I suppose, a blue. Not that it does anything here. Oh! That is... Now which one... Yeah... Doesn't really matter which one I No, I'm not going to mill the 2 cards, and I'm going to explore onto the Waterwind Scout. It's a land. Let's just attack with the Scout. Potentially block. Yeah, I think I just block 1 Skull Taker. Keep. Ooh, we can sacrifice things. That's a little bit scary, a little bit spooky. Okay, here I'll just block the Skull Taker with both, I believe. Creature of the Schism. Alright. No, not even attacking. It's not awfully surprising. We'll go a Cavern Stompers. Go that way around. And I'll swing in with my flyer again. Creature of the Schism, the Tarian's Journal, is actually pretty scary in this sort of archetype. Yeah, I can actually get the 7/7 back, so I'm just going to block the Preacher of the Schism. I don't care that the Skull Taker is going to keep on growing, because I can just walk with the Ancestors next turn. Going to walk with the Ancestors and discover. Yeah, I discover into something nice and tasty. Yeah, we'll return that to your hand. Not really too fussed about making the map token. And pass the turn. So yeah, it's gotten rid of one of their bigger threats. I get my Cavern Stomper back, and when it enters, return an artifact. No artifacts, so they'll scry 3, which is quite handy. Scrying 3 is an awful lot of scrying to do. If they attack with the Hoverstone Pilgrim, I'll happily block with both the Spider and the Scout. Yeah, but I would have been surprised if that's what they ended up doing. And I'll sacrifice the token. And the Tarian's Journal is really nice in this sort of spot. Ooh, okay. I am just going to make a ginormous land. 9/9? Yeah! I mean, 9/9 for 5 mana. I am happy enough to take that in a nice limited environment here. Goblin Skull Taker, what's he gonna do? Envoy, he's gonna sacrifice something. Just to make the Skull Taker that little bit bigger. Would be mildly surprising if he did. Alright, so he didn't. So I'll play the Forest, and here I can play the Cavern Stomper while still having the Nursery up. I will go that onto the bottom, but I'll absolutely keep them over the edge. Play Merfolk Cavern Diver next turn, and then the turn after, play the Revel Herald Guide and double Explore. Just because that gives the most unblockable damage possible. But I'm looking in a pretty solid spot here, I think, unless there's some real shenanigans that they have going on. Echo of Dust. We get a little bit of lifelink. That's fine. We get a lot of lifelink. And a lot of lifelink. Wow, that's pretty special from them. Go Merfolk Cave Diver, and I think I'm just going to pass the turn. More than happy to pass the turn on that one. They can sacrifice whatever they might like. Right. Transform, not going to be able to do anything with it this turn, but it is a little bit scary. Sacrificing the land, discovering into a glorifier, sacrificing something maybe. Might sacrifice a Skulker or a Hoverstone and get some Echo of Dusk. Right, sacrifice the Echo of Dusk and put counters on what? Interesting. Perhaps not what I would have ended up doing, but that is a-okay. Here we'll go Forest, we'll explore and explore on the Merfolk Cave Diver. Oh, perfect. There'll be a lot of unblockable damage, and then we'll have this enter and explore. And we'll attack for 7 unblockable. Next turn I can pop something to the top or bottom of their library, which will likely maybe be that Preacher of the Schism. Yep. What are they going to cast? The Marionette. Do they want a Death Toucher? Is that the plan? What are they going to be attacking with here? Don't really have too many great options in terms of attackers. Put the graveyard from the battlefield. Okay. We will go... What have I got? I've got 7 mana, and that costs 4. This costs 4. Oh no, I've got 8 mana, so I can activate the ability of the Cavern Stomper. Means it can't be blocked by the Death Toucher, and I will get in for a little bit of damage. Hopefully be able to take out one of their creatures. Well, it needs to. They need to block it, because otherwise they will decease. I mean, again, that just allows me to... I mean, they can only play one of them next turn. Allows me to have a bit more of a chance to do something special here. Echo of Dusk, I think that's totally fine. Acolyte of Aklatos. We'll be gaining maybe a little bit more life. I'm going to pass the turn. We've got a Song of Stupefaction. That's actually really quite tasty. Here I am going to be a little bit risky and attack with the Hidden Nursery. Hoping that they do block with the Marionette. Yep, okay, that's fine. The Nursery will die, ends up in the yard. It's fine by me. See what happens here, because what I could even do is put one of my own creatures back on top just to get an Explore, but I'm not sure that's going to be what the necessary option is at this point. What are they going to cast with the Tomb? It's going to be another Echo of Dusk. Oh no, okay. G2's Inquisitor. I'll be wanting to have the Deep Goblin Skull Taker growing and growing and growing. I'm going to have to keep this unlucky drop up. They are starting to threaten a little bit more damage than I would potentially like. What we can do here is we can go Song of Stupefaction onto the lifelinker, so they're not gaining an awful lot of life. They can sacrifice it, it'll be exiled anyway, so that's fine. We'll resolve all there. And I think we'll just pass the turn. Again, just a little bit more exploration for that cave diver would be exactly what I'm after here. Oh, that's quite nice. They'll get a scry. Let's bring it back with the Tomb of Aclazox as well. Again, I feel like it's just a little bit of a slow and steady. Did honestly think that the Song of Stupefaction was did have flash, which is why I attacked in with the 9/9 land. Maybe could have done things a little bit better in that scenario. I was able to cast 2 of them. I thought it was only a creature spell, which is yeah, I can just block and kill. Let's pass here. It's going to keep getting bigger. Actually, that's nice. That's actually quite nice as well, because I've got a exploring every single turn, which means they've got much more of a clock with the Merfolk Cave Diver now than they did, because it is unblockable. They will be gaining a little bit of life, but I'm quite happy to just hold up this unlucky drop for whatever needs to have it used on. That's 4. We can put 3 counter Grasping Shadows. Might start attacking now just to get a few triggers going. Yeah, Preacher of the Schism. We're going to attack with something this turn. Deep Goblin Skull Taker. 6 faster blockers. Block with those 2. Because then I can use the unlucky drop at some other point. It's a little bit of a shame to be losing a couple of creatures, but at this point we'll pass to end. That will get a little bit bigger. We will just still actually go for Jade Seed Stones and explore, because I think submit 1, put 3 counters on it. No, I'm not going to explore here. I think it is going to be a better idea to hold out on the explore so I can unlucky drop whatever they're going to be gaining life with next turn. Oh, cool. It's going to be bringing back another one of the Skull Takers. Oh no, Envoy. What is it bringing back? Oh, it's just to make a token that they can sacrifice. Okay. I do see how that makes sense. The Veto's Inquisitor is going to gain menace. I really don't want to bounce the Veto's Inquisitor. Or the Preacher of the Schism, really. Happy for them to gain 2 life, I think, at this point. Pass the turn. No blocks. I'll take 2. The next turn when that transforms, cool, we'll keep that. I'll deal 8 unblockable damage. Because here, this is growing into a force that means that I will be taking the win. I've got the Grasping Shadows, which means I'm going to be able to target basically whatever attacks. This will pop, they're not going to be able to get any more lifelink from it. And I can bounce whatever. Ooh, everyone sacrifices a creature. That's fine. I will block, I'll sacrifice Finder. Greedy Freebooter. I think I'm still in a pretty good spot here because I can potentially win next turn with... Yep, right. So create a treasure, scry 1. Don't think the scry is going to do too much. At least they can... I mean, they can draw a card. They can't draw a card. What are they going to cast from the bin? I think I have this game potentially wrapped up here. There's another gnome, which they will sacrifice to the acolyte. I'm going to resolve that. Put the Inquisitors back on top or bottom so they don't gain any life. 4, 5, 6, 7. If I drew another land, that would be even better. But the Secret Sunlight, Lodestone Needle. Oh, that's kind of good. Unfortunately, I can't actually win the game this turn. And how much am I going to take next turn? They can play the Veto's Inquisitors. I can block. I'm going to take 13, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. Flash in the Cogwork Wrestlers. So that will be 11 minus 2. And there's the potential for them to bring back... What can they bring back that's going to kill me? I don't think they can, so I am going to attack with the Merfolk Cave Diver. Resolve. Go to next turn. Got a 5/5 blocker as well, which is a pretty solid blocker. Probably block the Skull Taker with Cogwork and the Seeker. Block the Flyer with the Waterwind Scout. And next turn, as long as the Seeker is still alive, which it should be, because I can give -2, -0. Don't think they've got much else they can do to make sure that the Deep Goblin Skull Taker survives at this point. Well, they do have the Glorifier of Suffering, but I think even if they was it on up to 2, each of up to 2, that will only be to 6, which will be to a 4/6, which means it will still die to the blockers, and the Seeker of Sunlight will survive. And it's going to attack with everything. Yep. I'm going to go Flash in the Cogwork Wrestler. Skull. I take 5, 6. I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they can't really do anything. The Seeker of Sunlight survives, which means I get unblockable damage through this next turn. And I think that is going to be the win. I believe it's going to be the win at least. And hoping that it stays potentially being the win. That's ideally what we're after. Okay, good game, because they don't have anything that they can kill, because that's only a creature spell. They don't have any creatures that can... Oh, actually they can. They can return the Tithing Blade. Ooh, oops. Yeah, didn't consider that. I'll bring the Tithing Blade back. I have to sacrifice the Seeker of Sunlight here. I've got the Lodestone Needle though that I can do everything with. Go Lodestone Needle. Go craft with the artifact in the bin. Submit 1. Keeping that Lodestone Needle on top was a very important decision. Now I can explore the Merfolk Cave Diver and it will become unblockable. So it was certainly a good game that was not a little bit early on, and a good win. Very hard fought, but again, I think playing it nice and patiently, certainly the way to go in that situation. Very happy with how playing that patient game really did turn out. I think it turned out exactly how I was intending, which is quite glorious. Heirloom Epic. Currently 3 and 1s. We'll keep on going for a little bit at this stage. Sorry for the little bit of pause. I mean, again, if you have as anyone who has watched any of my videos before, they're all pretty much uncut, unedited. I think it's just a little bit more authentic because you get to see the ups and the downs, the good plays, the bad plays, my whole thought process through a lot of it. We'll go actually grab a basic forest instead of playing the dart frog, because playing the dart frog is not going to be the most important thing that I'm doing this game. I'm going to crawler here. I'm going to go forest into Merfolk cave diver. Yeah, I'd rather have the land out and be able to play the dart frog a little bit later if I desperately need, especially with something that does search for some caves. Maybe get some things going on it. Well, yeah, unlucky drop the book with the ancestors to get a lot of things back, and hoping that if I block the brawler with the cave diver here, that if they attack, they are not attacking. That's probably a pretty sensible decision. Play the River Herald Guide and explore. Nice, I get a land, which means the cave diver gets going, and I hit that 5th land drop, which means I can make a 9/9, which I feel like is going to be pretty successful. Nope, no blocks here. Happy to take 2. If I draw another land here, that would honestly be about as ideal as they come, because then I can confluence and get in for an attack that I can go through. It is not, but that is fine by me. So what I might do is I'll play the poison dart frog and pass the turn. See if I can... Oh, they're creating treasures. They're going pretty wide, pretty fast, but I'm not the most worried about that fact, because here I will go... No. I'm going to tap for mana, thank you very much. And I'm going to go... Make a 9/9. Attack with a 9/9. And they will have to throw something in the way. And I got pretty solid blockers back. I mean, the River Herald Guide doesn't have a lot of power, but it's, well, it doesn't have a lot of staying power, I say. What are they going to do? Just going to chump it, or are they going to block with everything? My god. I am plenty happy with that. 2, 1, 2, 2. Usually what I might do is I'll go 3 onto both of those. Ah, no response anyway. Look, trading 5 mana for 4 of their creatures. I'm, yep, on top of the moon with that. I mean, yes, the capybara gets a little bit bigger, but, you know, not really that fussed. Whirlwind Scout, create a map token, or I can What can I bring back? I can bring back a hidden nursery. Yeah, walk with the ancestors. Bring the hidden nursery back to my hand so I can hit my land drop. Get a Seeker of Sunlight, which can, again, really nice with the Merfolk Cave Diver, just to consistently explore. I'm happy to trade the Capybara for the River Hero Guide and just take 6 from that Dreadmaw. Not a Colossal Dreadmaw, but it's about the next best thing. And again, Colossal Dreadmaw is the best card in the game. So, here, over the edge leaves mana up for me to unlucky drop their Dreadmaw. Gonna explore and explore the Cave Diver. Oh, Song Stupefaction on top's perfectly fine there. Get 5 damage in, play a land, and attack. Go end the turn. If they do want to attack you with the Oshaga Dreadmaw here as well, I could just, I've got enough mana at my disposal that just chucking the Poison Dart Frog in front of it's really not a terrible shout. We'll see what they are getting up to. Presence of Ages, put a creature into land into the hand. Maybe the Axe Jaw, because they don't really need any more lands, do they? Yeah, the Axe Jaw. Pass to attacks, and I'll happily put the Dart Frog in front of it and take a nice happy trade. Yeah, I'll take 5. Not fussed. They get to get a creature, it explores, can always bounce it. 5. Cool. Whatever. I've got a 7/7 in my hand as well, which is going to be the play. Gonna scry 2 or Tidebinder and Island. I think actually just drawing them in that order is perfectly fine by me. Not going to attack. I've actually gone Island first and then Tidebinder to get a better explore, but nope. Certainly enough here with that combo. Churning along very, very nicely here with some nice solid wins. Ending up currently 5-1, I think, is the how we're looking at the moment. 5-1, 4-1. But yeah, feeling very solid. That combination of the unblockable plus having the source of and explore every single turn is really nice. I mean, being able to have, it's just like in the Avatar Limited where you've got the soccer attacking plus the otter penguins. Unblockability is pretty strong. So here we go, Seeker of Sunlight turn 1, Poison Dart Frog turn 2, and to see what we get dealt, see what we get given. Miner's Guidewing, Poison Dart Frog. Don't want to offer the trade here because I want to be able to make sure that the Seeker of Sunlight survives. Comes tapped Scry. No blocks on that one. I want the Dart Frog as well. Here, I'm also just going to pass the turn. Wait for them to attack. And then potentially block with a have a Cogwork Wrestler that I can deal something with. Let them pass to attacks. Scry 1. I'm happy to let them scry 1 right now. Flash in a Cogwork Wrestler. What are they gonna potentially do here? I do want to go Sunscribe. And that's alright by me. Oh, and they just got another Sunscribe. Don't play anything for the Tidebinder. That is okay. I am going to play Castle and Stone Tree because I want to get another land. What am I looking for? Probably another... no, another island at this point. And no attacks. Here might be the point that I block onto the Poison Dart Frog. It still feels like it's already cliff. Ooh. Very nice. So I'll just block with the let's see with this aura. Okay, forest here. Go. Song of Stupefaction onto the Sunsky. I will mill 2 cards. Didn't help whatsoever. And we'll pass the turn. Would have actually been nice to keep both of those on top. Let's go past to attackers. So we're gonna go against Death Touch. And what are they gonna get up to here is the question. Want that on top. This is an interesting one. We'll actually just block with the Seeker of Sunlight here. Pass 2 damage. Go to my turn. That's actually kind of nice. Just to bring back the Seeker of Sunlight. We'll go. Ancestors to bring back the Seeker of Sunlight. Discover. The Discover's gonna be. Oh, okay. Just the turns. Suppose that's fine enough. Waterwind Scout was going to be on top. Don't need the hidden nursery. Oh, so the forest instead. Wonderful. Just going to control the constant turns. Seeker Sunlight. Explore onto the Waterwind Scout. It's another land. That's not really what I wanted. We're going to no attacks. Of Sunscribe. I think here I might actually just take the damage. No blocks. Could have blocked with the Waterwind Scout, but I'd rather not. Go Island, go Mineshaft Spider. Maybe we can decide whether or not we want to... no, we're not going to mill 2 cards. Decide whether or not we want to use the Mycord Maze or the Tashana's Tidebinder. Pass to end. Could flash into Tashana just to kill the Sunscribe, but I feel like it could almost be a... gonna put a counter on the Guide Wing. Okay, we'll counter that. Don't want the guide wing getting much bigger. And just stops. Because then I can go and sort of trade Tishana's and Seeker. No, it's going to be Tishana's and Scout into the... because I want to keep the Seeker of Sunlight. Oh, -2, so it's actually glorious. Both, but I'm going to have 2 more in the bin, which means that becomes even less powerful. Oh, delightful. Let's go to the top 4 cards. Come on, a decent creature. That's exactly what I want. That's why I kept the Seeker of Sunlight around. Exactly why I kept it around, and we'll go no attacks. Ooh, that's nice. I've got some good stuff going here. And I think this is probably looking like a loss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to throw this into time in front. Doesn't make much damage. Ooh, make much difference, that is. That's going to be craft with a cave. I've got a cave in the bin. I do not have a cave in the bin. I'll tap that for mana. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Craft with a cave. And no attacks in the turn. What's going on here? Oh, that's not very friendly. Past with attacks, I'm going to tap down the Waylaying Pirates, but I'll still take 3 regardless. And that's, yeah, it got, yeah, well and truly out-wided. It didn't really have much of in a way of answers. Potentially could have played it a little bit more aggressively. But, again, they had, yeah, answers basically everything that I started bringing to the table. Which is, I mean, it's good because it makes for a good competitive game, but it's not good if you're just wanting to win all the time. And, of course, who doesn't want to win all the time? So here, go to 4 and 2. So still a pretty solid record. I think especially when some of what's going on is a little bit tricky. Having the 2 removal spells when I was looking to get into a bit of a better spot. And potentially the only other option was to keep the frog on top of the library instead of putting it onto the bottom. Could have made a difference, just to have that Death Touch and Reach as a potential option. But I do think that I may well have been in a losing spot regardless. Here I think I can keep this hand just about. Got the ability to destroy something on 2 if it comes about. Oh, wouldn't be in the sky. That's pretty spicy. Because that's tap 3 untap artifacts or creatures. They're probably just going to do that now, I would imagine. No, end of turn. Yeah, good call. Go here. Yeah, let's hold on to things a little bit for a second. If they attack with the Warden, a Deconstruction Hammer, or they can pass to attacks. That's the Warden. Next turn I can play the Waterwind Scout. Or maybe I don't. Maybe yeah, they're still going to tap things down. Scrying on the bottom. Yeah, we'll play the scout. Have a trade with the guide ring at this point, I think. Now, Warden of the Inner Sky is a very, very nice double strike, and it explores on entry. Thankfully it was a land. That could end up being a little bit more of a problem as well. But that, yeah, Warden of the Inner Sky is a fantastic card. Snowballs very, very quickly. You can put it back on top or bottom as well at any point should they desire. But I'm going to trade the Order with the Scout. Something's going to explore, maybe the double striker. Yeah. Cool. Tinker's Tote. Ooh, that is not really what I wanted because I need land. Go Stone Tree in that case. Hope I can find... Yeah, unfortunately, not going to be able to play the Cogwork Wrestler either way. Tinker's Tote going to be tapping down things like mad for that Warden. Attacking for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah. I'll tap another one. No. Go Poison Dart Frog and see what they do. Go to next combat, enter. Go splash in a Lodestone Needle onto the Warden of the Inner Sky. Block onto the Dawn Runner. Take 2. But I think I still might be dead. Be very difficult for me to win from this position, I dare say. Don't really have anything that can go too hard on the Dawn Runner. Yeah, gonna keep making the Warden bigger. Land is helpful, but I don't think it's the most helpful. I think it's going to pass through the turn here. Let them go ahead with their... let that dissolve, it's fine. Pass to attackers. Go Cogwork Wrestler on the Dawn Runner. And get rid of the gnome and block the other gnome. I mean, if they have some sort of trick, that's I mean, I'm gonna die anyway. So hopefully they don't have a trick, and I can do something spicy. Okay, let's make it so the wrestler doesn't kill their gnome. I still don't take any damage, which is better than I probably could have hoped for. But still looking like a pretty rough spot to be in. Yeah. One more turn without the water. Alright, another land. We'll go over the edge. We'll go destroy the levitator. And probably not do much else. Can sacrifice a map, I suppose. But probably still taking enough damage that I'm in a little bit of a pickle. So I'll have to block that, take 2, 3, yeah, it's a good game. Oh, I mean, they are very, very fast start. Really, really excellent aggro there, and I did not have the answers for what they were doing. So there ends the draft pretty happy with it. I think going 4 and 2 is reasonable enough. Certainly gets me to another draft should I desire, which I probably will jump into it at some point here. Going back over the deck, I think probably just a little bit more solid removal would have been nice, but I mean the Seeker of the Sunlight plus Merfolk Cave Divers combo was really delicious. The lucky drop was pretty good. Having some of these recursions was nice. The Cosmic Confluence, again, maybe for 5, if I had more answers for a lot of things, it could have been a little bit better. Not that great to destroy enchantments, but making some creatures is pretty good. Could potentially have gotten rid of one of the River Herald guides for something else as well. But in reality, I was reasonably happy with how this turned out. Came up against a couple of really nice aggro decks, and that was about it. So we'll claim the win. And as always, I'm Transphemerate. I'll see you on the rebound. Take care, guys.